What's good, everybody? Lucky Lefty Podcast. The Nora boys in the building. Left will be along soon. We're brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. It is ONORAWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And by all means, if you drink, make sure you do it responsibly. Let's get it. Happy Christmas Eve to everyone out there, Fighting Irish fans, or Nora boys.
What they say? Oh, ho, ho.
Yes, sir. Malik, ZAIRE, SHAUN, Davis. Brought to you by ONORA Whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. Check us out, Audio Edibles, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network, Lucky Legends Podcast, also Players Only Podcast. Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod. Go subscribe right now, Lucky Lefty Network on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the views. Leave your comments and questions. We respond to all. The home of the misguided passion. And you already know we do it every day. We continue to spin it different.
You think Kendrick pulled out some of that Chicago in him in that last album?
That's a couple. Well, first of all, Dodger Blue is definitely Chicago stepping.
Oh, you said that's Chicago?
Oh, that's all day Chicago stepping. Yeah. My wife. It was funny because, man, I should have been an A&R. I really should have been artist in development in the music industry.
Oh, you would have.
Oh yeah,
had careers, not just
A&R marketing, because I remember just 2 years ago. No, that was 2 years ago. We were going out to the outlet mall in Rosemont, myself, my wife, and my daughter. I want to say it was Christmas Eve. And we were listening to the SZA album. And I was like, listening to the album, and I was like, she's out of here. And my wife was like, what makes you say that? I'm like, this is her crossover B96 album. And for anyone that lives in Chicago, you know B96 is the main pop station in Chicago, right? It's not a lot of artists from that R&B realm that get a lot of play. But she had like 3 songs on there that I was like, yeah, dude. As soon as I heard I Just Killed My Ex, I was like, that's definitely B96. I was like, she's out of here. She's crossing over. She's about to become a big time artist. And so I heard Gen X, and I told my wife as soon as I heard Dodger Blue, I was like, you're going to hear that on V103. V103, for those of you that don't understand Chicago radio or might not know, is the old OG station where you hear the oldies, the old grooves.
They hit the oldie.
Yes. So she was.
So the Kanye got the sampling from Chicago sound.
I tried to tell you, Kanye tried to act like he created. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Just think Chicago and keep it moving. But no, in all seriousness, the first time I heard Dodger Blue, I told my wife that's going to be in steppers clubs all over the city immediately. And so she came in yesterday and she was like, yo, why did I hear Dodger Blue on V103? I was like, I told you. Bro, I love it though. I love it. I just love the feel of the album. I'm not here to debate if it's 5 stars or it's just a great vibe, bro. It's a great vibe. And man, my daughter, she was like, yo, you can't go anywhere in LA without hearing that album. She was like, everybody's playing it. In the car, at the light, everybody's playing it. So it is what it is. Hey, big time commitment in the wide receiver position in the portal. We just talked about a great topic yesterday. I talked about the wide receiver position at Notre Dame, specifically in development and recruiting, and realistic expectations from the Notre Dame fan base about that position. Check it out, yesterday's show. It was towards the end. Malachi Fields commits to Notre Dame, 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver from Virginia. They faced the Fighting Irish this year in South Bend. He had 4 catches for 81 yards. He averaged about 23 yards a catch. Over 20 yards a catch. Was that 21? I'm sorry, 21 yards a catch on the day. And yeah, great pickup. Great pickup. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little more about the loss of Riley Mills. We'll hear what Marcus Freeman had to say about the loss and facing a backup quarterback. We'll hear
okay.
Yeah, he talked about that. We're going to hear from the players, what they had to say about the win on Saturday night to kind of put a cap on that 27-17 victory over the Indiana Hoosiers. Emphasis on who? Who are you again? You're the little brother? Okay.
Yeah, those are the little friends down the street, man. You know.
Yeah.
It's like your friend it's like the young kid in the neighborhood that always comes out. He's just not as old as the group, but he always want to hang with the group, and you gotta join the 1-2s. That's all.
Yeah. And we are going to give, Left is going to give his 3 biggest worries going into this matchup against Georgia. The 3 things he worries about the most going into this matchup with Georgia. And then that's the LL question of the day for everyone in the chat. If you have a GTB question or comment, put it in the chat. We'll get to it immediately. If you have a super chat, throw it in. We'll get to it immediately. LL Nation, what's your biggest concerns, your biggest worries about this matchup with Georgia on New Year's Day? Of course, what time is Notre Dame playing? Let me hear for the people in the back. Let me say it for the people in the back. How did Hulk Hogan used to do it? What time is Notre Dame playing? Prime time.
Yeah. Not the news.
Listen, you know I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
So when you talk about this seeding and everything, you cannot tell me that they didn't sit in that room and craft everything, knowing Notre Dame's gonna beat Indiana.
Yeah, they knew he was gonna beat Indiana.
Ohio State's gonna beat Tennessee.
Yep.
And we're gonna get Notre Dame, Georgia, and Ohio State, Oregon.
Yep.
In the quarterfinals.
That's all we wanted. Because how is Georgia a 2 seed? How is Georgia a 2 seed with 3 losses?
Stop. They're a 2 seed because they won an SEC championship. That's why they're a 2 seed. Can we talk about that a little bit? There's too much spilled milk going on, bro. You should get props for winning a conference championship. That's the structure of college football. I'm not going to punish somebody for getting into the conference championship game and then winning the conference championship game and then telling them they don't deserve to be a top 4 pick. I'm not with it.
Top 2 though? Not top 2.
Who else? Who was better?
I would put them at 4 or 3. You have 3 losses.
Arizona State?
God, that's another tough one.
Who behind who? That's my question. I'm all for it. Behind who?
Georgia should be like a 11 seed, like a SMU was. Like,
sure, as a conference champion. What are we talking?
But if we're talking about seeding, we gotta talk about seed because they were 9-3.
If that's the case, then eliminate the conference championship games. You don't punish people for winning a conference championship. That makes I don't understand what people are whining and complaining about seedings, dude. Don't lose to Northern Illinois. You would have had a higher rating.
That's fair.
Don't lose to Northern Illinois. It's the same argument with Alabama. Don't lose to Vanderbilt and get blown out by Oklahoma. Like, what are we talking about? They literally had the toughest schedule in America. The toughest.
They did.
That's the toughest schedule in America. And won the SEC championship. And beat Texas twice.
To
do it.
Yeah.
And you want to
Okay,
tell me
that's
they
true.
don't
That's
deserve to
true.
be a top 4 seed?
No, they definitely deserve it. Okay.
And that right there, Notre Dame wouldn't have to see them if they didn't lose in Northern Illinois. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
They would be playing Arizona State right now. Think about that.
Could have been playing Arizona State.
Could have been playing Arizona State if you didn't lose in Northern Illinois. It's really that simple. It is that simple. So the whining and complaining. Now, maybe you want to reseed after the first round. Maybe you want to reseed when you get to the quarters. That's fair. That's fair. If that's the case, Notre Dame would probably be a top 3 or 4 seed right now if you were reseeding. And they would probably end up playing at Arizona State or somebody like that after the reseeding in the quarterfinals. I'm all for that, Left. I have no problem with that. None at all. That's fair. But like trying to make it seem like people getting automatic buys because they win a championship, then what are we doing? Then what? They have no conferences then. Just open it up. Everybody's independent, but everybody can't beat Notre Dame. So everybody can't do that. Everybody needs somebody to lean on. They need to go in and talk as a group to get a TV package and a TV deal. Notre Dame doesn't have to do that. They need to go to Nike. They need to go to these other companies as a group to get an apparel deal. Notre Dame doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, they don't have to do that.
Don't have to do that. So it's
definitely a trade to it. You know, it's not like Notre Dame gets a Scotch free pass, but I'm sure there'll be a restructuring.
There are 5 conference champions, right? 5 conference champions. This is why 5 conference champions. The 4 highest of the conference champions get the buys. Boise State was a conference champion, ranked higher, along with Arizona State, ranked higher than Clemson. That's why Clemson didn't get the automatic bye.
It would almost be better if you just jumbled it up and randomly selected the seedings once you become part of the 12 teams. Like, because I think there's, as easy as that sounds, just to make the conference champions your first round bye, you earn it. It's a good path for it. That doesn't make it good games either, though. You know, so
yeah, I don't look, man. This is my problem, man. The nature of man is to find a problem with everything. So I don't care what changes are made. It's going to be a problem with those changes. And then as you make more changes, there's going to be a problem with those. Oh, we need to expand.
Do you think that the basketball bracket is good?
As far as
how they do the March Madness bracket, do you think that's because I think the football one
conference? See, the thing about basketball, the conference champion, you have a conference champion regular season, but then you have the tournament champion.
Tournament seed, yeah.
Now the tournament is the automatic bid to get in. So if you can go sub 500 in the regular season and win the tournament, and you get
in the tournament, big tournament,
into the tournament.
It's that process. It's the process of getting a bid to the tournament, which makes the seeding in the tournament the best, in my opinion, because then they just match you with different teams. It's not like you said, you win your conference championship regular season, you're automatically in. No, you have a whole conference tournament.
Right. Which is crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
If you say like the team that's sub 500 or just one of the worst teams, they play, I think most conferences in basketball get the top 4 seeds get a bye. They get a bye and everyone else plays like you're winning. You have to win 5 games. I think North Carolina State, they made it to the Final Four last year. They had to win 5 games in the ACC tournament.
Just to get to the Final Four.
To get the automatic bid to get in, they were pretty much going to be right there, debatable whether or not they made it in.
Damn.
Right? But they went on a run. They get the automatic bid. They increase their seeding. And then they go on a run and make it to the Final Four. And that is,
That's because you have more than one game. Everything in football is just a one-time thing. So I just think there's so many variables that people include in hindsight. Like nobody, I expected the SMU Penn State score because of the weather conditions.
Look, man, let me tell you something. I understand football is a team sport. I didn't play left. I played basketball where one man can impact the game a lot easier than on a football field. I watched one man destroy the hopes of his team in the first quarter, literally in the first two drives.
Oh,
bro, you got a fourth down. Just run for the first.
Yeah, the quarterback definitely literally lost the game himself.
You come back and throw a pick six, like, bro, you are moving the ball. You are in the game.
Yeah. Moment got too big. But I think SMU as a program, the moment was too big. This is the college football playoffs.
That's fair.
And that's what a lot of people's complaint was. It's like, damn, I mean, yeah, they do good, but that's almost like having an FCS team in there just because of the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a bad matchup for them. Penn State's just in my opinion, a physically bigger and more stronger team than SMU. I just think the styles were mismatched and it wasn't in favor of SMU and it showed. But I still don't believe in no Penn State. Arizona State being a 4 seed is surprising. They played well all season, but
see, you know who I blame? You know who I blame? You blame Prime. Blame Prime for choking at Kansas. That's why Arizona State.
Man, that's
Colorado should be playing right now.
Colorado should be playing.
They should be getting ready to play right now with the Heisman Award winner. What you doing?
Heisman, first round pick quarterback.
They wet the bed at Kansas.
Yeah.
A bad team. They wet the bed. That's why.
Maybe that's why that look right. Yeah. Because the best players usually make the tournament, and the two best players aren't even – they play in the Alamo Bowl today.
I feel sad, man. I don't know if you saw the new – I told you that it was going to be –
the video? It keeps getting – you can't beat the internet, Sean.
I told you. I told you in yesterday's show it's going to get worse, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's
going to get worse.
Oh, Sean, I mean, it's terrible. Like, at this point, it's like for Trav's own sake. I think everybody's upset because they've seen stuff like this before and they feel bad for Trav because they're like, bro, you're about to do so well in life.
Well, she was talking so chesty.
Yeah.
But you know this stuff is out there. You had to know.
You had to know.
Had to know. Oh, man. Look, but yeah, I'm just, Lucky Lefty podcast, man. So left, Malachi Fields, 6'4", 220. He's the newest addition to the wide receiver room.
The Bo Collins prototype, the Equinini and Smiles Boykin prototype.
Well, they use him everywhere. They use him in the short game. He's a much better run after the catch, faster. I think he's a better receiver than Bo Collins. Definitely better production.
Oh, run after catch, yeah.
Yeah. This year, 55 receptions, 14 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. And that's with bad quarterback play. I'm talking about bad quarterback play.
Well, I think just having the size and variation in our receiver room is pretty special. You look at Miami, all those guys are pretty much the same size. You look at a Notre Dame team, we got guys from 6'4" to 5'11", from 4'3" to 4'5", 4'6", all types of sizes. So that fits an offense where you are multiple. I think he's a great plug and play player because of his size. He damn near looked like a tight end. So you go big personnel with him and another big guy out there. I mean, you're dealing with something serious now. So I think this is a great fit, especially when you talk about the quarterbacks on our roster that no matter who plays next year, they're a first-time starter. Whenever you got a guy this big and you've seen the success of big receivers like a DK Metcalf and an AJ Green, and you get a kid like this, you feel like there's a lot of potential. And for a young quarterback, when you're 6'4", 200 something pounds, that's a lot of area code to miss in.
Great man, you talk about his radius, his catch radius, his
Yeah.
bananas, and he's a hands catcher. That's what I love. Sure-handed, not a lot of drop, consistency. Right, 2 years of 50+ receptions, around 800 to 900 yards, and I went back left, and I said to myself, I asked the question based upon what I said yesterday. What are the realistic? Yes, I would love a Jeremiah Smith. I would love to have a guy come in, get 70 catches, over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. But what Marcus Freeman said yesterday, you're going to be and going to have an offense that is built off of the offensive line and the run game. So what's realistic? What is realistic for a wide receiver coming in? If you tell Malachi Fields, hopefully they told this young man, look, we're going to get you the ball. Like, you're used to catching 50 balls a year. We're going to get you the ball. You could have gone to the league. You come here, we're going to get you the ball.
We're getting the ball 50s, 55. At the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying. What's realistic? Are they going to get him the ball 50 times?
We have a lot to prove considering we had the guy with the most receptions in college football last year. So
Chris Mitchell.
So that makes it as a recruit a tough look, because it's like, damn, you got a guy that transferred in that had literally the most catches. So obviously you probably told him you're going to get him the ball. And he underwhelmingly had 35 less catches than the school before. Now that's a lot of a difference. Now, considering Fields is coming from a team that wasn't worth much, I'm sure he'll get more value out of the same type of numbers. He got 55 catches in Virginia. He'll probably get 50 catches at Notre Dame. It's just, it means more at Notre Dame. Yeah. Riley Leonard's numbers are considerably the same for his best season, but it means more Notre Dame.
So realistically, I would love for him to just duplicate his numbers at Virginia, because they would be more meaningful, to go ahead and pair with the run game that Notre Dame more than likely is going to have, coming back with the same running back room and a vastly improved and healthy offensive line with a little bit more depth. The offense could be even deadlier. Now you lose the aspect of Riley Leonard, his playmaking abilities with his legs and things of that nature. But is the passing game elevated? With the, quarterback that wins the competition. That's something to watch. The Bears watching. But I think what they get in this young man is someone that is
another dynamic. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if Jordan Faison is a playmaker, he becomes better when you can put this monster on the outside.
Because he's not quite a one either. Jordan Faison's not quite a one. This kid's not quite a one. But when you put them all out there, you have to really consider what you're trying to stop. Because even as a decoy, you need some attention over there. That's a 6'4" guy.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to him.
I mean, unless you're just going to give it up all day one-on-one, which teams have been so used to playing us, all we need is a halfway more accurate quarterback. That was a little aggressive. Now what are you going to do? Because we got 24-4 coming back. That's the craziest part about it.
24-4, 20. Don't forget 20.
And with a Kedron Young coming in his second year. So
and Nolan James coming in fresh as a freshman.
So it's okay for Notre Dame not to be ready to move off of the running attack being the lead production of the offense. I think what will complete this team is to have that threat of a Fields plus a Faison plus a electric receiver in a great house get some more down the field production. I think we still miss that. If we became explosive 20 plus yard type of team off of the run, now you're talking about an unstoppable offense.
Yeah.
Right now, we'll chip away at you till you go to sleep. But we not the team that's like Golden State where you got to keep up. When you add guys like Fields, then you get that opportunity. Okay, when in doubt, throw it down there. He's going to jump and make a play. Worst case scenario. The matchups are going to be there. We saw it against Indiana. What did Indiana do? Oh, we're all going to load this box. We're going to throw one-on-one routes, backside, 2 receivers in play action. Now you got these wide open plays. Now you put bigger, stronger players there instead of a phase on. Now you're cooking with grease. Now you're making explosive touchdowns, So I think this is a way of Marcus Freeman continuously building 1A and 1B type of units. This receiver room is a bunch of 1A and 1B players. No player necessarily over the other, but they offer different variation in what we're asking them to do. And it fits when you look at what don't we have? We have everything you need. Height, size, speed, physicality, run first identity. Quarterback is a game manager. You're just plugging in holes at this point. And I think this is another addition that it may not make a bunch of news now, but in season, you'll be like, damn, when did they get him? Kind of like how the Rod Hurd came into effect. When Rod Hurd finally got his opportunity where he had to be spotlighted and he started making plays, you're like, damn, I forgot we had Rod Hurd. This is his second year there? But that's the genius of recruiting through Marcus Freeman. You throw in a Jordan Clark, you throw in a Rod Hurd, you mix in a Kenny Urlacher, you mixing in a Leonard Moore and with your Ben Morrison and your Xavier Watts, you bringing up a Don Shula under the. I mean, you creating an environment where it's very competitive. They're pushing each other, and the results are coming out of it. And I think that's going to grow in the receiver room. It just takes the quarterback room to light it up. Just turn it on. I believe in our receiver coach, and Mike Brown. I believe in Gino Gaduli. So it's just an off season. It'll take from that a connection standpoint when your starting quarterback is in the spring and in the fall and in the summer, right? Even if he's a first year, if he gets all that time, I think you'll see a better result starting the season than when we had to like slowly get to it in the beginning.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Chat is on fire today. We're talking about the addition of Malachi Fields, transfer wide receiver from Virginia. When they faced the Fighting Irish, he had 4 receptions for 83 yards. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check that. 4 receptions for 81 yards, average of 20.3 on the day with a longer 33. 55 receptions, 808 yards, 14.7 yards per reception.
That's a great ad.
6 touchdowns. I would take that right now in the wide receiver room.
Oh my goodness.
He had 2 terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah.
At Virginia.
I mean, 800 yards at Virginia. 800 yards at Virginia is really good. 55 receptions on a team that wasn't over 500. It's pretty good.
Man, Noop Life. Our boy Noop Life 007. Thank you for the super sticker, my brother. I think you had a question to go with that. Which D lineman steps up now that Riley Mills is out?
We continue to be a team by committee. Just like we're running backs with committees, running back by committee, but it's a star within there. Right now, we're just a D-line by committee. You get to see a young make an impact as a freshman, but he had to step up.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have your 1As and 1Bs as a productive unit, yeah, you can still make things happen. Now, we may not have the single play impact that a Riley Mills can add, but from a getting pressure standpoint, playing your gaps, being a force within there, okay, now you do have some leeway to rotate guys. So, is Riley Mills an Isaiah Foskey type of impact where he's got the most sacks of all Notre Dame history? No. But a veteran in that spot, in my opinion, in a game like this, he will be missed. That's just what it is. And I think that it's not so much of replacing him as an individual, but just rallying in that position. Like we still got to be a force in that middle of the defense. I think Georgia's looking at attacking that. I think they saw some things from Indiana on those stretches, on those inside zones that once they could get past that first level, and that's with a Riley Mills. So I expect them to go right back to it. Xavier Watts got to be involved in a lot of tackles. I mean, this is one of those games where I don't think Georgia's going to try to trick you. I think they're just going to be aggressive. So they're going to take the shots one-on-one if they see it. They're going to try to out-physical and run you through the middle of the defense. How do you respond over 4 quarters? This is a team that plays 4 quarters. Remember, Alabama had them down 28-0.
Georgia Tech had them down big.
It had to slip away.
Kentucky had them down.
And that's what the difference between a championship team and a team that's up and coming that doesn't know what they don't know. We don't know what we don't know as a good team at Notre Dame right now. Georgia truly knows what it means to be a great team. From going into hostile environments to being discounted to having to rally, having to play from a lead, having to play from behind, having to win in the second half. I mean, they've dealt with it all. So from a battle-tested standpoint, they got the upper hand in this situation. When it comes from mano-a-mano, not us just punishing kids, but from mano-a-mano, they got us on a experience level, even in the coaching staff. I mean, we saw how Kirby Smart in that Georgia Tech game, I mean, he was using every timeout. It took 7 or 8 overtimes to figure it out. His guys didn't quit. I mean, think about 7 or 8 overtimes like another quarter. And and what's that? That's 16 plays where you got to be perfect. 16 plays where you can't make a mistake. That's hard to do, but only an experienced team can go that deep in the waters and come out alive. Georgia Tech, once they got into overtime, I knew it was over.
So you knew it was over then, huh?
Oh, what? It was just a matter of time. Because you're getting deeper and deeper in that water, and you got people on Georgia Tech. These kids don't know what it's like. They looking at it like, damn, we almost had the best team. You know, they considering Georgia as the best. You know what I mean? So
now you're talking about resolve. You're talking about mental fortitude. You're talking about deep wells and to pull from experiences of getting it done.
Georgia had to upset a number 1 team this season. And then not only upset them, beat them again.
And physically beat them up. Physically beat them up
again, and that's what's so crazy. You know, it's hard to beat teams twice.
So they say.
Now you beat the team that was number 1 in the world at their place. It's tough to do. Come back after you done spanked them like you did physically, and more physically spanked them the second time when it mattered.
With your backup quarterback.
Now this is who we're playing now.
It just got real.
Context.
It just got real. That was a nice little scrimmage. On Friday.
Nice little scrimmage.
That
was a scrimmage. That's not no. We'll get a playoff game.
See, we can be disrespectful now. We can be disrespectful now. Yeah, we didn't want to be disrespectful. We could have been leading into the Indiana game, but now we can be disrespectful. We knew.
Yeah, that was pageantry. What we did was a beauty pageant contest.
Yeah, the game, we really should have beat them by 30. We
could have beat them by, and Marcus Freeman was smart enough not to be overzealous and be like, let's just crush these guys and just overinflate our egos going into the week after. I'm sure, as I sit here today, Marcus Freeman 1,000% believed that he would win last week. 1,000, no matter what the coach speak was, and these guys, we got to come.
I was
play.
at about 500%.
No, seriously.
500. Yeah.
Here's Marcus Freeman is not no silly guy. He's like, listen, I know we most likely will win this one. So I'm not gonna push the pedal to the metal in the first lap. You know what I mean? Don't push the pedal to the metal in the first lap. We got 3 more laps to go.
That's why Denbrock, he was like, yeah, we just gonna come out and run the ball.
Just go. Denbrock had the most, and I really think that's the mastermind. You know. He's like, I'm not gonna show much because it don't take much to beat these guys. I need Georgia to be like, is this what they're gonna do to us? I need them to start thinking, because I know we're thinking ahead, two steps ahead. 2 steps ahead. So this game here is okay. This is where it counts.
Oh yeah, it's real.
Sean, real. This is where Marcus Freeman can put that S on his chest and say, okay, I'm doing this. I'm coaching and putting a program together. Mm-hmm. You put a Kirby Smart on your resume.
This is where that NIL contract for Riley. This is where the incentives come into play.
This is where the bonuses, the landmarks,
all of that, landmarks, all of that,
private jet flights. Mm-hmm. This is what,
yep, that's where you earn your keep.
Because all that stuff before was pageantry. It was like, okay, you know how to walk how we walk, talk how we talk. You got the lingo down. You eat on our foods now. You know how to dress. But it's time to make it all worth it this week.
Let's get to the super. Go ahead, Lefty.
Seriously, I think this is what I've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what college football is trying to stop, in my opinion. Because they know, Sean.
It had to happen this way. That's why I do.
If we won and didn't play Georgia, they wouldn't count it. They would discredit it. They would asterisk it. Oh, you didn't get to play the team that's da-da-da-da-da. They said, no. If y'all want to win,
mm-hmm.
you're going to play Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Not meet them in the – no, we're going to place you in a position where you cannot avoid these boys.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can get through them, okay, then we give you the respect, and then it's the ball's in our court.
You know what I respect about your boy, Joe Burrow?
Oh, he gonna get it done.
He went in there and he beat the dude.
Yeah, he went in there and he beat the dude.
He went in there and he beat the dude.
It just made the season
all of these fan bases like, man, hey, go beat the dude.
Go beat the dude.
Walk in the Arrowhead and beat him.
If you the king, you go get the king. You go take the king down.
Yeah. So all you know they're there. Why we have to play Georgia? Stop, man. Bring them on.
Bring them on.
Yes, bring them on.
Yeah.
If that's who we need to beat.
That's what we need to do.
Line up. Because I'm just like, everybody is sick and tired of these narratives. Let's get rid of these narratives.
Go ahead.
And if this is the path we have to travel, then let's get it.
Then
let's get it. Let's get it. It's as simple as that. Can't avoid it. Can't run from it.
Yeah, we can't, because I know y'all gonna say we run it. That's what they want to say.
No.
Oh, you guys didn't play nobody. You guys just coasted through the season.
Can't say that January 1st. You can't say that.
No.
Can't say that. Super chat. Super chat. D Monk, Mr. Food Lover, thank you for the super chat. Do you think beating Georgia will shut up the ND haters? No, you'll always have your haters.
You're going to have your haters.
They'll just find something new. They'll go back to the conference stuff.
But they can't. We would just change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. We would have to give them, they would have to go back and do homework.
Yeah.
What can we talk about now? Because they can just easily, this Notre Dame again? Oh, we'll just say what we always said. They won't be able to do that. We win this week.
Yep.
They almost wasn't able to do that when we beat Ohio State, if we were to beat them. But
another one. Thank you for the super chat. Mississippi, we appreciate you. Going forward, do you think Bryce gets more play play over RJ Oben in pass situations to get more pressure from defensive end positions. The stopping the run, RJ's probably a little bit better stopping the run right now. In pass situations, probably so. It's very interesting. And once Bryce got hurt, but before Bryce got hurt, they were doing all types of combinations with Howard Cross, and they were having a speed guy on the interior, next to him, and just getting more speed on the field in pass rushing situations. I love it. I love it. I think Riley Mills, listen to me, Left. Did you see how Gunnar Stockton and how that move schematically made Georgia go back to who they were? Because they wanted Carson Beck to be this pass it all over the field, 300 yards. And when he got hurt and Gunnar Stockton came in, they went back to old Georgia football. We can run the ball down your throat, run the quarterback, play action pass.
Keep things short. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely, right? Which eliminated the mistakes that Carson Beck was going to make. You knew he was going to make a mistake, right? So now they're playing clean football, and they're making you beat them, and that is like textbook Georgia. Listen to me. Riley Mills is a tremendous loss.
Yeah.
But I think it opens up the creativity of Al Golden to dig into his bag and pull out things that Georgia possibly has not seen, specifically in third down packages.
Yeah.
I
think Georgia's whole thing offensively, we can't get 3rd and 6+. If we get 3rd and 6+, our young quarterbacks, he's not going to know what he's looking at, period.
Until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter left. This is an amazing stat. Until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Indiana had one first down play that went for more than 4 yards.
Damn.
One. Think about that. You were talking about how dominant Notre Dame and keeping teams from dictating on offense and keeping them behind the chains, which is exactly what Notre Dame did to Indiana. One first down play of over 4 yards until there were 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That, I said it all. Notre Dame.
That's what Snetti said. Snetti said we couldn't do anything on offense. It was like, what was the point? And I said, if Rourke doesn't throw for 300 yards, it's going to look silly.
Yeah.
Because if you cut their points in half, which we've been doing all year, okay, and then you add the factors of the weather, he had to have had a spectacular game because we're stopping the run. I mean, it's like a process of elimination. So in a neutral game like this, I just believe that Al Golden will be steady enough for us, but we have to score to win the game.
You have to score points. It's as simple as that. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Left, another super chat before we get to Marcus Freeman. Thank you to Sippy for another one. Not a question, but I find it hilarious that a lot of Georgia fans I've come across think that Jeremiah Love can't do to them what he did to IU. Let them learn. Sometimes, how it is, Left. You have two young boys. You try to tell them things, sometimes they just have to learn their own. You tell them that stove is hot. Don't do that. That's hot. Don't touch it. Next thing you know, they might touch. They just have to learn on their own. So that Georgia defense, those linebackers, those fans, they're going to have to learn what 4 is all about. They're going to have to learn what 24 is all about. They're going to have to learn what 20 is all about. All right? Because they can get focused on 4 and 24 can pop them. They can focus on 24. 20 can pop. All right? It's a little bit more than 4. Don't get it twisted. He's the dude. He's what stirs the drink. But we're going to keep it 100. Notre Dame is more than that. Black Rhino 75, thank you for the super chat. Merry Christmas, LL Nation. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Eternal blessings upon you and your family. Black Rhino.
I just wanna see us. I want to see us win in style. To be honest, I don't want to see no
You want
kick
to blow out? You just
from
want to
Jeter from like 45, or we're like on the edge of our seats. I don't think we're good in those situations. I just think if it gets to something like that, Kirby Smart's experience is going to show, and it's a learning experience for Marcus Freeman, who's never been there. That's just what it is. Like, I think that if it comes to that, now we're a 10-point, 14-point lead. Okay, all right. You know, that's what I expect our.
You're right, Left. Yeah. There is a huge advantage, and I'm not being disrespectful to Coach Freeman at all. There is an advantage. Kirby makes those calls at the precise
timeouts, all
moments. I go back to that semifinal matchup with Ohio State, and he sniffs out the fake punt. Like, Ohio State is about to call a fake punt. They have the formation. They're about to out-leverage Georgia, keep the ball, go up by 2 scores if they keep the ball, because Georgia's defense couldn't stop them. And he sniffs it out. Him and his coaching staff, they sniff it out, get the timeout just in time. Moments like calling the timeouts against Georgia Tech to see their formations, it's small little things. He's been there, man. Small little things like that. Marcus Freeman is going, hey, it's not just the players.
It's not just the players.
You got to put on their big boy pants. Marcus Freeman is going to have to put his big boy coaching pants on that day, too.
Oh, man. And Marcus Freeman is not his fault. He just ain't never had to be in those situations. Like, these are things when it's like broadcasting. There's no, it's live. So it's not a script.
No.
You're just, when things may not happen how you expect, you know, and yeah, when I was broadcasting, a lot of things happened that I wasn't prepared for in the moment. And the first time is always the toughest, right? And then if it happens or something similar, you know how to. So I think Marcus Freeman, with just the nature of how fortunate we've been this season, going against just that old battle-tested ox that's just like there. Like, you know, it's not necessarily, he can whoop you, but he's not an easy out in no regard. So I just think this is going to be, if we can win this game, I think it's a good feeling for the rest of the year, you know.
Yeah, and I've heard this a lot. Like, people, like, man, Georgia struggles with mobile quarterbacks. They do. They struggle and they win while they struggle. See, they struggle, but they win.
And we already know Riley Leonard is a gun-shy sort of quarterback.
I don't think so anymore, Left.
Against these guys, if they start running up,
well, I mean, that comes from
they start running up, if they do condensing that pocket like they do on most mobile quarterbacks.
If they do,
and Riley gets good, starts taking off.
Yeah, if they start applying pressure, we'll see.
I haven't seen a Riley Leonard standing there and just take over a game from the pocket. And even when he's doing well, it's like he's completing passes, moving the ball, and they show his stats and be like 79 yards. You'd be like, golly, I thought he was cooking.
He only needs 200. I'm telling people, all he needs is 200. No, he doesn't. I disagree. Georgia's not scoring more than 17. I'm putting it down right now. Georgia's not scoring more than 17.
We have to score at least 24, 30.
200 yards in the air get you that.
Shit.
Let me tell you something. Do you really believe? Let me tell you something, bro. Do you really believe? You really believe 4 is gonna get shut down? Do you really believe 24 is about to get shut down?
Do I think he's gonna have the games he's been having? No.
You missed the point. Notre Dame ran for 170 against Texas A&M.
They did.
Okay, then. I don't care. Notre Dame's gonna get to 170, 180.
I like Georgia's run game better than Texas A&M's run game.
You talking about defensively?
Defensively, yes.
I don't know about that. You need to go watch that Georgia Tech and Tennessee tape.
Georgia Tech and Georgia Tech's defense. One, they have an all-senior O-line. So that plays into it. But also, Georgia is coming off of 2 weeks of rest, which, in my opinion, helps a team like that.
It could, but then Notre Dame would have played.
No, I think from a physical standpoint, we're gonna be ready for it physically. However, I think that it becomes down to who's going to make the plays and who's not going to make the plays. I think Georgia's playing I think Georgia's playing for us to make the mistake because they don't have offensively, in my opinion, the game changers that we have. I think they have a consistent offense that let's not make mistakes and do everything we can defensively to get it to a situation like Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're playing for. Let's play it to stay close late and let the coaching acumen take over. Coaching situations, play calls in the wee minutes. If they give it up early, it's hard to come back because they don't have the offense to get there. I agree with you. I don't think they'll score over 17.
I'll put them between 17 to 23 points.
But if it's 20 to 21 going into the fourth, it's like it's 0-0. And then it becomes who got the ball last.
Jay Grizz with the GTB question. If you have a question, comment, super chat, super sticker, put it in. We'll get to it immediately. Lefty and SD, in your opinion, what is it about Notre Dame that causes UGA to struggle with to pull out a W versus ND in 17 and 19? Is it coaching or talent? No, just physicality, man. Notre Dame has always been a physical, running the ball. That's what, I mean, those are two similar styles, right? We're going to just slug it out. And Kentucky had that style or has that style with Coach Stoops, that gave Georgia problems. Georgia Tech has that style. They gave Georgia problems. Georgia has no problems with the Texases that want to play soft, finesse football. Oh, they can eat that up all day. We're just going to punch you in the mouth. That's easy for Georgia. Easy work. What? Y'all want to run to the edges? Y'all not going to run straight downhill at us? Okay. All right.
We'll do that, though. We'll run straight downhill.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to continue to do it with 3 running backs.
Once again, we take that approach of, we're going out physical, keep the score low, Ohio State 20, 22, 23 or whatever. The problem becomes, all right, you forget about scoring. you forget about points when you're like, okay, we took 5 minutes to whoop their ass to get 3 first downs. Well, it's about to be halftime, and it's 7-0.
Hypothetically, let's say Notre Dame goes on 2 10-play 80-yard drives to go up 14-0. The game's over, right? Because now Gunner Stockton.
What quarter is it?
Let's say it's right before halftime.
No, I wouldn't say it's over.
Okay, so Gunner Stockton's gonna have to throw the ball a little bit more down 14, isn't he?
Not with a half.
Okay.
You
think Georgia's about to just run the ball and get 14 points? Because they only get 17 to 23. I think there are a lot more ways.
I don't know. There
are a lot more ways. I keep telling people, man. The thing about this Notre Dame team is they have a lot of different variables and a lot of different components to get to the amount of points they need to get to.
That's right.
Whether it's defense, special teams, Riley Leonard's legs, the 3 running backs' legs, now Jordan Faison.
Eventually, yeah.
Something's going to pop. Something's going to pop because it sounds real simple. Well, we stop 4 and we're good. People have been trying to do that all year.
We just can't let the Kirby effect of they got us on a special.
The Kirby effect is the Kirby effect, bro. Kirby is going to do something to try and get the advantage for his team or keep his team in the game. Kirby does that. That's like being in a fight with another good fighter and getting hit in the face. Did you expect not to get hit? Did you expect not to face adversity? Did you expect not to have to answer the bell or respond? Notre Dame is going to have to respond in this game, maybe more than once.
Yeah, and that's where that money comes in my opinion.
That's where Riley comes in.
Yeah.
Make plays, scramble.
Got to be more.
Make plays on the run.
Get an easy out of 2 pick sixes by the defense. It's just not happening.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Marcus Freeman. He talked about facing Georgia, but then he also talked about facing a brand new quarterback, and he talked about the loss of his defensive tackle captain, Riley Mills.
Yeah, you evaluate. Obviously, schematically, what they've done all season, and then you have a separate tape of what Stockton, the new quarterback, has done. I think we have 80-something plays of him playing quarterback. He can run their offense. He does some things a little bit differently. He's got he can extend plays with his legs. He's a good athlete. The thing I probably noticed more than anything in watching those 80 plays is he's an ultra competitive individual. You can just tell, by the way he celebrates, by the way, he goes and finishes plays. He's a competitor. I don't see it being tremendously different than what they've done all season, but we'll prepare for anything.
And I know you kind of get a guy back that you expected to have at the beginning of the season in Charles, and now without Riley, how do you all move forward? I mean, you've been plugging guys in all season, but how do you really move forward now without a pivotal piece of your defensive line?
You can't replace Riley Mills. Yes, the production, but the leadership, a captain, very similar to the things I said about Benjamin Morrison when he was out. You feel awful for him as a person, a guy that decided to come back, prove his draft stock, be a captain. The value he provided this team is tremendous, and he's done an excellent job as a football player and a leader. But you have to replace the production. You got to replace what he did for our defense in different ways. And so, we have capable guys that will step up, that have stepped up all year, that we're very confident in. And those guys will have a bigger role this week.
Hey, no rest for the weary, no shedding of tears. This is the game. The game is the game. Injuries are part of that game. Let's go. Whoever we have suited up, let's go. Get your shield, get your sword. It's time to go defend the pass.
We can only take who we got.
That's it. That's it.
This is where that depth thing comes in, where I talked about going into the playoffs. I think we have the best depth production type of players where we can lose maybe significant.
The Georgia team has significant players that they lost to the portal in the defensive backfield, on the defensive line. So, they're trying to win a championship.
We have enough to beat them. I know that.
You just have to go beat them. That's it. There's nothing left to do but to go win. That's it. Just go win.
I don't feel as if we're outmanned in this game either. Which usually in these bigger games, I feel like we may be disadvantaged in other places. I don't feel outmanned. It's just a matter of, are we gonna?
Yeah, are you gonna get the job done? Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't feel outmanned either, Left. Not in this game. The other two matchups, maybe. Not in this one. Sly Fox, thank you for this GTB question. I apologize. Any chance we use some 2 running back sets and put Love in motion and put pressure on their linebackers? I guess you could if that's what you want to do. But see, that goes to, you might see the most important aspect of this game for the Notre Dame running backs will not be, and I want to repeat this, will not be their ability to run the ball. Of course, they can't fumble the ball and turn the ball over. That goes without saying. Consistently, Georgia is going to bring their linebackers in the A gaps and blitz. That's what they
Full
do.
speed.
Full speed. That's what they do. And these running backs are going to have to bow their necks, stand their ground, and give Riley a couple of seconds or a second.
And Riley's going to have to be able to know where his outs are.
He's going to have to know to let it go. Or
more importantly than
Notre
that,
Dame,
yeah.
Notre Dame has to free release with the running backs, and the running backs have to beat the line, the safety or the defensive backs in space. Like, that's the game. That's one of the key components of this matchup. Georgia's going to be Georgia. Georgia's about to drop back in the zone like Indiana. Georgia's not doing that. Georgia's trying to dictate the action with their linebackers. That's the best group on their defense.
They're going to start early by saying you're not going to walk us down.
Yes.
You're not going to do it. All that stuff y'all did in Indiana, walking them down, 10 play drives, nothing they can do, 2 yards in the cloud of dust. That's not happening. So they're going to find ways to disrupt. I believe they're going to find ways to try to get Riley out the pocket and then use a free man, a spy to clean up after. So Riley's going to have to play smart more mentally than physically this game. I don't think this is a game where he needs to go in there thinking, I need to go in there and run the whole defense over and be super tough and, have my jersey half torn. And that's not this type of game, in my opinion. The success of guys against teams like in Alabama or Georgia have been to stay clean. C.J. Stroud was clean most of the game. And he made plays down the stretch when they asked him to. It's just what it was. He just ran out of playmakers.
Yeah.
We don't have a playmaker shortage, which is the advantage for Riley. Use them. A Faison isn't even the number one guy, but it's a playmaker. He needs to be touching the football. It needs to be less 13 and more everybody else, but 13 in the moments. If 13 can play big in the moments, that's all that matters his game. We don't need to see him touch it 50 times and get 100 yards and be beat up, and then we need a game-winning drive he can barely throw because he's tired, he's gassed, So if he's in good shape by the fourth, it gives us a good start. If he's beat up because we done ran him 50 million times in heavy sets to get 2 yards in the first down, it's just going to be a long day when you're going to ask him to start locking in and being precision-based, throwing the football late if needed, which, it's an all or nothing thing. I don't think that Riley Leonard is bigger than do your job. You got to play smart.
And that's the thing. Like, Riley Leonard had the touchdown to go ahead and break the record, break Brandon Wimbush's record. Riley didn't have to run at all that night. On the same play, if he had given Aeneas Williams the ball in that same play,
that's what I'm saying. That those type of decisions are going to be the difference.
But my point is,
outrunning these guys, Riley.
There is no need. Oh, this is a different type. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a different type of pursuit.
Yeah, you're not outrunning and all that. It's just you're not getting the same amount, and that's going to be a shock. The first 2 or 3 drives where you like, damn, I ain't getting out like I used to. Yeah, this is not the same type of defense. Like you getting out and running for big yardage is when it's a passing situation and they really think you're going to pass. Other than that, they're going to send a cover zero. They're going to get pressure in your face. You can't be flinchy where you want to run out the pocket because they got athletes waiting to chase you down. This isn't like defenses that are going to turn their back on you because they don't think you can throw versus man. They're like, okay, we're going to play man majority of the time. Can you make the plays with timing to beat our defense? Not can you outrun them? Can you be more physical than them? Can you use your mind to put the football on time when they're trying to jump on? That's the game. And if you can do that, it don't even have to be for explosive plays. It can just be just to get them out of the blitz package, just to get a couple yards to stay above the chains. It's those moments, not necessarily for a touchdown or for a 50-yard gain. But I think if he can keep, it's like a boxer. If you can keep that jab going, you can keep
all day. That's the most effective punch in boxing.
You keep him off of you.
Jab and body punch. Oh.
So if Riley can be that jab for us, just keep him off of us because Georgia's a pressure fighter.
Keep them off balance. Right. They want to tight.
They just going to pressure, tighten you, get you to a corner, just beat you up.
That's good analogy.
Keep that Riley jab. Just keep him off and move around. Keep him off, move around. And then we bring the Jeremiah hook. Then we bring the Chris Mitchell uppercut. But you're not going to out-pressure fight Georgia in this game. You're just not going to do it. They're a championship-based team, regardless of if they have the same players or not. Pressure fighting is how they win. We have to be the Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence.
This is I want to use this. I want because I think it's a great stat to make this point, Lev. Angelo 48 Bertelli, thank you for this that you put in the chat. UMass had over 200 yards against UGA and they got blown out. At the end
got blown out, yeah.
Because everybody, remember all year, everybody told us what Georgia wasn't. And they won the SEC. And they beat Texas twice. But everybody kept telling us the linebackers are slow. The secondary is terrible. The Carson Beck is horrible. They line it up. Give me all the reasons why Georgia's terrible, but yet still, here they are.
They're blowing these teams out.
Here they are. They make all these mistakes. Georgia Tech ran the ball on them. They won. UMass ran the ball on them. They won. Dylan Sampson had 100 yards in the first half on the ground. They beat them by double digits. Like the name of the game is winning, bro.
Winning. The
name of the game is winning. That's why people now, Family Matters was the best song in the whole beat. He lost. You can talk about all of that style points. Oh, he flowed. He lost. At the end of the day, take that L. I don't care nothing about stats this game, bro. I don't care how beautiful it is. Notre Dame's going to have to grind. Notre Dame is going to have to punch them in the mouth, bro. They have to take a punch, and they have to punch back. It's not about to be cute. This is not cute. Notre Dame can run for 170. They still going to have to find a way to win in that fourth quarter, bro. Like you said, somebody's going to have to make a play on either side of the ball. On either side of the ball. Because you can do everything. It has been proven this year more than any year. You can do everything you need to do. UMass did everything they needed to do to win that game. Georgia Tech did everything they needed to do to win that game. Kentucky did everything they needed to do to win that game. Tennessee did just about everything they needed to do to win that game, and they all came away with L's. Texas knocked Carson Beck out. Had 2 opportunities. Still took that L.
Still.
They're champions, ladies and gents. They're champions. You have to beat them. They're not about to lay down. They're not about to roll over.
Just doesn't happen.
And they're not about to run away just because you run the ball on them. No. They got down 28-0 on the road. They didn't run.
On the road, didn't flinch.
They didn't run. They didn't flinch. They didn't run. That's who you're facing. That's absolutely who
What
you're
Kirby
facing.
say? They just ran out of moments.
Yo, that's who you're facing. So we can sit up here and talk about stats, and I'm gonna tell you Notre Dame's gonna run the ball on them. They're
We'll
gonna
probably
have
beat them in the
success.
stat category.
But man, at the end of the day, it's gonna, what do you call it? Championship rounds?
Yeah, don't
Okay.
all that's happening.
Rounds 11 and 12. Whoever wins of rounds 11 and 12 is gonna win this fight.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's gonna control parts of the game. Georgia's gonna control parts of the game. Championship rounds. Who's gonna make the plays?
We've never been. This is that we're crossing the lexicon or the Rubicon.
Man.
Because this is literally.
And I wouldn't have it any other way, Left. I would not have it any other way. No complaints. I have no complaints. Let's get it. Super chat. Nick Dean, thank you for the super chat. In my opinion, all we need from Riley is to make a few plays and disperse the ball to the playmakers. Thank you, Malik. I cannot agree more. Thank you, Nick, for the super chat. We appreciate you, my brother. Happy holidays to you. Jay Lamont, our brother. Thank you for the super chat. 1-300 on IU, finna bet back 300. Squabble up. That's what's up.
Yeah, I love it.
That IU bet was so easy, boy. 6.5. I'm like, oh, that's easy money. I'm not a betting man, but if I were, oh man, I would have run to the window so fast on Notre Dame. Like, man, give me Notre Dame. You can give those points.
This is just too big of a moment to flop. That's just my biggest concern.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Too much been built up. Too much built up to go in there and lay an egg and be beaten 31-7 or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just too big of a moment.
You talked about how coaching is going to be at a premium in this matchup, and Marcus Freeman was asked about his aggressiveness in the special teams game.
Yeah.
I've always had a mindset as an individual, as a coach, to be aggressive. Even as a defensive coordinator, being aggressive. As a head coach, that I want to be aggressive. I want our program to be aggressive, but also want to make sure that we're doing things that are going to help us have success too, right? And so when I feel like I'm very confident in being aggressive in special teams because of the preparation, because of how we've game planned in the execution and practice, I'm willing to call it. And so I think that's a credit to the coordinators, to the coaches, to the players for coming up with some schematic things that people would view as aggressive. But it still goes into, do you gain conviction in practice that it was going to work in the game?
He's very aggressive, man. And you're going to have two aggressive, ballsy coaches that are not afraid to make those calls at key moments of the game where it could really damage the opportunity for their team to win the game. And they both have kahunas. Marcus Freeman and Kirby Smart both have kahunas to make those calls. I can't, man. And that's what it is, right? Like Nick Saban, that onside kick against Clemson, that won the game. He knew they couldn't stop Deshaun. He knew it. He was like, I need to get an extra possession. I need to get out in front of them a little bit more. And literally, it helped him win a national championship. It's those types of decisions in these big games and moments that are so key. So
don't be over aggressive where you just doing stuff. It's like, okay, I get it, but you didn't need it right there. Like, I think there's a balance to it. And Marcus Freeman has been experimenting, thank goodness, with being aggressive. It's not like he's got to do something he hasn't been used to.
Yeah.
He has an opportunity to be aggressive like he's been all season. So I think he's prepared himself the right way to feel confident about taking chances in different spots where it's not going to be unfamiliar. I just think it's more situational based. I don't think he's going to have an Ohio State mistake,
Yeah.
I think he's done enough to be better, and we'll see what happens.
Elizabeth Crook, thank you for the super chat. Merry Christmas, and thank you for the joy you bring to us all by spending it differently. Elizabeth, we're forever committed. Hope you and your family have a blessed holiday and Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And let us know the next time you go hiking. Let me know. I don't know if Left he's not too keen on hiking. Because first of all, you guys hike in LA. It's a totally different hiking though.
It's totally different height.
Yeah,
That's
totally
a
different hiking.
scenic, you know.
My daughter, she tells me all the time, I'm going hiking this weekend. I'm like, all right, then you're not going hiking.
That's like a luxury.
You're going walking in the mountains.
Walking in the
That's not hiking. That's walking in the mountains, dog. That's not hiking.
Yeah.
You don't have
if you looking good hiking, then you ain't hiking. You walking.
Facts. Marcus Freeman, let's end with this. He talked about this is something you said that was so key. The willingness of Marcus Freeman to allow what he knew he had in the linebacker room to marinate properly. So that's key, Left, especially when you're preparing meats. You have to allow your meat, you have to properly, put the
crema.
No, not the creme. What is it? Brine. Brine. Is that the correct word? Brine. Is that when you put it in? Let it brine.
The turkey, right? Brine the turkey.
Yeah, but crema might be right too. Crema, brine, seasoning, all of that preparation. Just put it under preparation. You properly prepare the meat, dude, before you go ahead and cook it.
See, and then, sometimes what I've learned from the beautiful Miss Raven.
Okay.
She went simple with the wings yesterday. Usually, I like to put the mustard on and do the
because you do that with your ham too, right? The mustard.
See, I would, but I don't eat ham. I would.
Okay.
But she kept it real. What? Couple flavors here. It's a secret recipe. She said because she don't want to tell me what it was, but she said it only used one or two ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
But the taste came out right. I think it's because she fried them and baked them.
Because you can't overseason stuff.
Yeah. Real crispy. So it was, sometimes simple always win.
Yeah. My daughter, she's real fancy now, bro. She's real fancy now.
She a TikTok chef?
She's on her own. I got her own little dig out there, dude. So, I'll call her on a Sunday morning. She was like, I just came back from the market, got me some spices, got me this. I'm like, oh, you're doing
market, huh?
You're doing the full. I went to the farmer's market. You're doing your full Cali transformation now, huh?
That's right. These are the ones that use the right soil. They use the right soil to grow these, and so they only have them at this market on a Tuesday. You know how that is. That's LA stuff.
Well, I went down to the flower market because they only have these type of flowers during this type of year. So, yeah, I'm like, okay. Like, all right, you are really becoming a California resident.
Know the routine. Okay. That's all.
But
she didn't go thrift shopping yet. Yeah, has she?
Oh no, she was doing thrift shopping before she went out there. Yeah, she was thrifting in Chicago, so that she had that already. Honestly,
already in the bag.
Yeah, already in the bag. But speaking of that, Marcus Freeman talking about how he allowed the growth and development of his linebackers to take place in order for their success to manifest itself this year.
Yeah, it was a talented group. That was just an experience, if he said, and what you've seen is them constantly improve through experience, through coaching. Coach Bulla has done an unbelievable job of developing that group. A lot of times what you see as a group is a reflection of, they always say their head coach, but the position coach. And Max Bulla has done a wonderful job of having that group ready, rotating guys, and they're all playing at a high level. Those guys are physical, aggressive football players. Are smart, really instinctive. They do a good job of preparing for the offense, and they're playing really well for us.
And then with Kingston, what has he been able to do so far, and what are you going to be looking for, over the next week plus for him to be able to play next week?
Yeah, mostly he's been rehabbing. Obviously getting mental work in, but hasn't been able to practice. For now, we want to see the progression into practice, and then build that confidence. He built that confidence in himself and also in his coaches and the doctors that he can go out there and get his job done, which I think he will.
So I just like the ability to just keep throwing guys at people.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw guys at people. Okay, You handled this wave. What about this wave? What about this mix? What about this? And he's right. He's taking on the personality of our position coach. And we knew from the beginning, looking at Max Bullock's interviews, how intently keen he was on taking on the personality of being a linebacker on and off the field. I mean, this is like their own little unit and tribe, and it's special, and it means something, and it's a rite of passage. And I think those guys have all bought in. I mean, you got an Osbury, KVA, a Snead, a Bowen. I mean, the list goes on. And then the fact that they play well off of each other and with each other in different combinations, that's a lot to throw at an offense all game.
Mm-hmm.
All game. And so for Max Bullock to be able to have the whole unit ready, not just his top guys. You know, I think Notre Dame has always been a lead from the top two and then everybody else follows. But I think all of these guys can be ones and twos, you know, the 1A, 1B effect. So because there's so many that are ready to play and ready to make impact, that's the key of our defense in this game, is that it's just a lot of bodies to throw at an offense that's hurting in their end. And then for a quarterback that, you know, he's going to have a hard time because you think he's wearing down the defense, but we have so many different guys to throw at him. So it's like, who's going to wear down first? Is his running ability going to outlast 6 or 7 linebackers we can put on the field? So that's the gamesmanship you got to watch.
Man, do you guys do Christmas cards left?
Sometimes, yeah.
I've never done it. We've never done a Christmas card. And so my wife was talking about
like
doing the Christmas card.
You send
send it out to everybody. Yeah, we've never done that. So my wife was like, "No, let's finally do one." I was like, "All right, cool. Let's do it next year." All right, so literally, I have 2 friends, my childhood best friend and then my best friend from college. Both of them send us Christmas cards every year. And so my boy sent the Christmas card and I got it. And my wife showed it to me. And I was like, see, that's exactly why I never do the Christmas cards. I was like, because he married. So I introduced him to his wife.
Oh, wow.
Because his wife and we were really good friends in high school. So he met her through me when we were in college. And then they eventually got married. And so
okay, Mr. Hitch. Him say you should have played the movie instead of Will Smith, man.
I probably should have. So as soon as I saw the poses, I was like, yes, that was all Tiffany's idea. That's his wife's name. I'm like, I know her. I didn't know her since high school. She definitely talked him into that pose. Because it was just a pose. I was like, there's no way I would do that. No, absolutely.
You're not doing the funny poses.
No, I'm not doing that. And he actually got in yesterday and texted me like, man, I made it to my mom's house. So I was like, yeah, we got to talk about this Christmas card. He was like, man, your girl made me do that. I'm like, yeah, I already know. I'm already knowing. I know she made you do it. And I fully understand. We're still talking about it, though. We still talking about it. Yo, when we come back, Left will give his biggest worries going into this matchup with Georgia. And then we'll hear from some of the Notre Dame players talking about that big win over the Indiana Hoosiers, man. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag, because you know, if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Honora Boys back in the building. Had to play Chicago Zone coming back. represent our boy CT Carl Thomas. That's one of the man, the video was hilarious, bro. You know how you see somebody locally, and then when they finally blow up, like, yeah, I know that dude. And we kind of give him the Chicago pass, even though he's from Aurora. We kind of give him the Chicago pass. Lucky Lefty podcast. Speaking of giving out passes, if Riley Leonard does not throw for over 150 yards and Notre Dame still wins left, will you give him a pass?
If we win, he doesn't throw over 150.
If Notre Dame still finds a way to win and Riley doesn't exactly play his best, are you still going to give him a pass? It's like
No,
the
there's
win.
no
That's all.
pass. No pass. No pass.
You're still grading them hard.
Then it would be a championship grade. Then I got to grade you in the championship game. You know, it just keeps going up. I mean, this is the championship round. This is the money time. This is you earn. I'm telling you, this, in my opinion, if I had $2 million to earn, this is where you earn it. How you gonna earn it in the training stages? That don't make what? How do you earn it in the training stage? You have to earn it when it counts. I'm not saying that what he did so far doesn't count. I think it's expected because of what all things included.
Yeah.
You've been blessed in a position where people knew this was going to happen. We wasn't worried about losing more than 2 games this season without Riley. So now we can put all that stuff in its rightful place and talk about what we predicted since the spring. I said we was a 2-win playoff team.
You mean 2 losses? No, you said 2 in the playoffs. 2 wins in the playoffs. Yes, you did say that. I'm sorry.
This is where my expectation ends, and where, like you said, they can only control what they do on the field.
Right.
But this is the prophetic moment right here, right where we're talking about right now on December 24th, 2024. This is the prophetic moment. If this transfer made sense, if Marcus Freeman made the right moves, if we are on a trajectory of a championship dynasty program under Marcus Freeman, I think this is a huge fork in the road for this Notre Dame team. I think losing is more detrimental than just losing this game. I think it's just a trick on the season almost, it feels like.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was going to come down to a game like this. Either it was going to be Georgia or Ohio State. So this is the win of how Northern Illinois put the little dog bone in when they beat us.
Mm-hmm.
This is our little trophy we put in our own locker. Maybe not in the facility, but in our own locker of, okay, this is the program notch win. All that cute stuff and fun stuff where everybody was fun-loving and winning and we blowing teams out. Let's do it when it matters now. This is if we are who we say we are.
Did you ever, you know how you used to slap box back in the day?
Yeah, all the time.
In the neighborhood. So we used to do that, but we used to draw a circle and you had to put one of your feet in the circle. Both of us had to put a foot in the circle, and you could not leave that circle.
That's right.
You could lean back, you could lean to the side, but that foot had to stay in that circle. If your foot got out of that circle, it's a wrap.
No running.
Yeah, that's the type of game this is. Hey, put your foot in this circle. Put your foot in this circle. Nobody's running. Like, we're going to see. I love it. I can't wait. Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's hear from Riley Leonard post game. What he had to say. He talked about the win.
Would have been up there if he could have got in, but he didn't. So yeah, I'm just kidding. That was fun. Our QBGA was like, bro, you need to step up in the pocket next time. You get these high edge rushers, and then I did it, and this guy got open for me. But I was itching for it to come open because we called that play earlier, and they spun to 2, but that time it was quarters, so we got to take advantage of it.
And then a couple plays later, the feeling that you have when you kind of walk into the end zone, and I think everyone in the stadium knows at that point that's kind of it right there. Just that moment that you had with your teammates, what was that like?
That was special. It's kind of hard for me sometimes. My head's always spinning all week. It's hard for me to take a second and take it all in. But that was kind of the first time where I was able to look out into the crowd and really embrace this moment because it really is special. And my mind's just always spinning. I'm always so stressed out all the time that it was very important for me to take it all in because that was a special moment.
Right next to him, Kyle Kelly.
Hey, Riley, you're obviously Jeremiah Love's biggest advocate. I know you talked about him, if he had your touchdowns, possibly in the Heisman Trophy conversation. So what does tonight say about what does his performance, say about tonight?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I got the best view in the house. Every time I hand him the ball, I'm just watching, what's he finna do now? And he just continues to impress me. And it's the little things, right? It's that, second or third down where he's stiff-arming guys and getting first downs for us. It's these little plays that might be 5-yard gains, but for anybody else would be a 5-yard loss possibly. I mean, he's just a freak athlete. And like I say, if we didn't have a rushing quarterback, I mean, how many more touchdowns would this guy have? And he'd be in conversations, nationwide. And, obviously, I think people are starting to see how special he is.
Left.
Stop stealing his thunder. No, I'm playing. Let the man eat there. He thought we'd have a rushing quarterback. You talking about you? No, you don't have to be a rushing quarterback, Riley. You got options. You can throw that thing. But
Right, you could have let Aeneas Williams score that touchdown, man.
yeah, well, now that's why he said it. He said if it wasn't for that dastardly guy, 13, Jeremiah Love would be on the top of the charts.
Man, that dude is the best, man. I laugh. He makes me laugh at the same time I smile, man, because I genuinely believe that he's really
Being authentic.
honest and authentic. He is really honest and authentic, man. And you can never hate that. You can never hate that. No, not at all. But to me, they are coaching him. I think they're doing a really good job of coaching him play by play, series by series. I think they found out that's what they have to do. A lot of people felt like he was coming in as a finished product in the passing game. And that's why, you always said if Riley was coming here for 2 years, this is something I want to remind people of. When they want to call you a hater, you were like, yo, this is a good move. It would be a great move if he was coming here for 2 years, because in that second year, he would really take off. And I think you were spot on with that, Love.
Yeah, we had 2 years, we different conversation, but I think it was the hype in which he came in like he's a 2-year guy in his first year. I don't think that's fair, but also it's not realistic. And we've seen it work for 2-year guys, so it's not that Riley is not capable. I just think that it takes time, and if he were to stay another year, I think he would play even better, because then the expectations go from don't lose it to now you got to win it, and I think he's much more comfortable in that position.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. We're going to say about 15 more minutes, and then I have to go brave the streets of Chicago, man, on assignment. Left. I played myself, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, the missus got called in. It's like, yeah, that short staff, they called me in. She works in the ER room as a nurse. And so she's like, they called me in. I got to go in, but I got the next 4 days off. So I told them I would come in. I'm like, all right, so I need you to do this. And here comes this list. I need you to go get a gift for this person, that person.
Oh, it turned into you're Santa Claus.
Yes.
Yeah, you became Santa. She said,
It's supposed to be the chill day, bro. I kicked back. I went to Molly's Cupcakes. I got me a nice blueberry cheesecake cupcake. You know what I'm saying? To have with my coffee and my apple cider with the little cinnamon stick and everything.
Oh, you doing it? Oh, you doing it? Okay.
Planned out. Yeah, my day
Okay.
planned out. Right. I was gonna do. I have to do virtual Bible class tonight at 7 for 30 minutes. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna do the show today. Do my virtual Bible class at 7. I'm good. And now I gotta hit these streets, bro.
Yeah, you gotta get them reindeer ready and
I told her one thing. I said I will not be going into a mall. Everything I hit better be a private store or a small business. Everything.
So you're not going to department store, huh?
No, I'm not hitting department stores. And she was like, okay. She blessed me with that. So once again, ONORA Whiskey presents Malik's biggest worries, biggest concerns as we head into this matchup on January 1st, New Year's Day, prime time, 7:00 p.m., Notre Dame, Georgia. Left, what are your 3 biggest concerns going into this matchup?
Championship moments. I would like us to see us play those occasions. If we become one-dimensional for whatever reason, we can't get the running game going early. How do we respond or stick with it or, get back to it? And then probably lastly, I think just Riley Leonard's impact, man. Is he the X factor or not? Is he the guy that is changing the tide for Notre Dame, the missing piece, the all included? I think we rally behind him this game. And obviously not everything may be perfect, but if he wavers, can he bounce back and get on track and win when it matters?
So once again, the 3 things that worry Left going into this matchup: the championship medal in the big moments for Notre Dame. Will it be there for the players and this coaching staff? Marcus Freeman, Riley Leonard, is he going to be the X factor that Notre Dame needs him to be against Georgia? And then the run game. Can we get it going early? No matter the challenge, second best run defense, first run defense, didn't matter. Notre Dame approaches 200 yards on the ground each and every game. Mike Denbrock said it after the game on Friday. That's what we do. Everything starts with 4. And we build from there. They're not going to stop. They're going to continue that trend. And we'll see if they can be successful early and often for 4 quarters and 60 minutes against the Georgia Bulldogs on January the 1st. Jay Lamont, we thank you for the super chat. Y'all not worried about missing Riley Mills? We just did a full 30 minutes to start the show on missing Riley Mills. We did an entire 20 minutes yesterday's show talking about missing Riley Mills. It wouldn't make my top 3 Left. Thinking about that, would you switch anything out for Riley Mills? I wouldn't. Yeah, Riley Mills is a concern, but it's time to play. That's why you recruit. That's why you develop. I don't think they're replacing Riley Mills with a scrub. I don't think you can replace Riley Mills. As Marcus Freeman said, we talked about it in the first segment, but some pretty good players they have. So we're talking about Sevillano, Heinisch, Armel Mukum, Rubio, Howard Cross, probably add one more person that's probably going to be in that rotation. Probably gets to 6. Man, I'm just now hearing that the music was still playing in the background. Lucky Lefty. But Yeah. Riley, I mean, it's a big concern.
Yeah,
It's
Riley is a
definitely a
huge concern.
But the three you gave, I would venture to say are probably three of the biggest concerns. I would be worried about Riley Mills if I knew we didn't have any players in backup.
Right.
And like I said, if Al Golden wasn't the defensive coordinator, that's what I said.
You know what I'm saying? I'll go with there.
No, if Al Golden didn't have 10 days to prepare, and this is a multiple front defense. This is not just like, oh, they're a 4-3 defense and they lean and depend on those defensive
playing the whatever.
Yeah. No, they go 3-4. They win multiple defenses against Indiana. They brought 4 linebackers on the field. You know, they ran nickel. They did a lot. So I expect Al Golden to devise a game plan to utilize what they have, to utilize everything they have. Jalen Mont, we appreciate you, boy. Happy holidays to you, and Happy New Year to you and your family. Let's see. Who haven't we heard from? Let's hear from Jordan. You want to hear from Jordan Faison? Let's hear from Jordan Faison left on his game.
For you. Yeah, I think it was just, same old thing, week in, week out. I mean, we've had plays prepped, and then this week was, I had a lot of opportunities to make plays, and God bless that I did, and just took it and ran with it.
And then I got to ask you, whose idea it was to make the fashion statement?
My bad, y'all, my hair.
Okay, this one with your hat off. Whose idea was it to make the fashion statement with the no shirts among the wide receivers?
We were talking about it. We weren't really going to go through with it because one of our practices during the week, it was a little too cold. The hands were a little too cold. And then someone in the locker room was like, oh, yeah, don't go out with shirts on. Like, yo, it's a little too cold out there forever now. But nah, everyone did it, and then we're like, if one person do it, we all got to do it. So then we went out there.
Up the middle aisle to the left, Austin Huff.
Yeah, you had the drop early, but then, how do you come back from that, I guess? Because it didn't seem to phase you, it looked like, the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let things like that affect you. I mean, the ball's going to keep coming to you. You got to be able to make plays, and then kind of.
Yeah, that's it. Go make plays. Hey, Left, let me ask you something, man. You know what the funniest thing was Friday? I was watching the pregame coverage, and they were talking to Jeremiah Love on the field as he was warming up, and they pointed out to him that the wide receivers, as you heard Jordan Faison talk about how that decision came to be, the wide receivers made the decision to go shirtless while they were warming up, and they asked Jeremiah Love, like, man, how you feel about that? He was like, man, they tripping. It was the funniest thing. Like,
yeah, I don't,
But Jeremiah Love was like, man,
the game is to stay warm.
He was like, they tripping. I don't know what they on. He was like, we're going to go out, the running backs, we're going to go out and do work. We don't need to do all that. And it was really funny. Like, yeah, bro, that Tennessee tried to pull that too pregame. It's like, bro, y'all some Southern boys. Y'all not about that. Stop playing. Stop playing.
It's just like, man, the adrenaline gets you going. So in the beginning, you warm it up, you trying to get the adrenaline. So it's cold as ice.
That's one of those things. Sounded like a good idea. Sounded like a really good idea. But in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have done that. Hopefully none of them have caught a cold or the flu because of that foolishness as they head into this matchup with Georgia. We'll get out of here on the words of the best player on the defensive side of the ball, Xavier Watts, best safety in the nation. Best defensive back in the nation, to keep it honest.
They had coming into the season, they had a good run game, and they were able to throw the ball around. So they had good, talented receivers. So I mean, just being prepared all week, just practicing, the balanced approach that they were going to come out, and I think we did a good job of practice all week, and it helped us today.
And being one of the captains, having the first home playoff game at Notre Dame, what was it like to have the fans as a factor tonight for the defense?
Yeah, I mean, the fans were great tonight. They're really loud. I think the towels was a good addition, pumping up the crowd. Every defensive drive was really fun. So the crowd played a good part in tonight's win.
Front row on your left, Jack Sobel.
Kind of along those lines, like how important was it to start fast, both at the start of the game and the start of the second half, and kind of get the crowd into it and set the tone for the rest of the night?
Yeah, I mean, it's important just to start, like you said, starting fast just sets the tone for the rest of the game. It gives, defense momentum and the offense momentum. So just starting fast is a big factor.
Can you take us through the interception? How important was it to come up with that on the heels of an interception of your own?
Yeah, just cover one. I'm just over top, just reading the quarterback. Just ended up being there. Just cover one, yep.
Man, X is so smooth. Yeah, cover one, man. Just doing my thing. Just there, saw the ball, caught the ball. He was so dynamic in the box as well. And I said it on yesterday. The ascension of Adon Shuler has really just unlocked a lot of things that Al Golden can use and kind of place his X in the position to be that chess piece on the defensive side of the ball to really just wreak havoc. Honey Badger style from his LSU days on defense.
Yeah, I mean, just love the fact that he's just that consistent leader. He's the guy you point to make things happen, and you just love to see it.
Yeah, love to see it. Lucky podcast. Before we get out of here, Notre Dame, not only did they receive a commitment from Malachi Fields, but this morning they also received a commitment from Ben Nichols, interior offensive lineman, another big one. And this kid is already, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 310 pounds. Man, Coach Rudolph definitely likes him big. Pause. He definitely likes them. Coach Rudolph is not about getting the small guys and putting weight on them when they get to the program. He wants them already pre-made to go in and be able to play immediately. Even though Anthony Knapp was on the smaller side, definitely he was a very strong kid, and he was able to hold his own and has been able to hold his own the entire year. So that class of 2026 continues to grow. Dead period right now. And then it opens up, I want to say, on the other side around the 8th or 9th. And I think Notre Dame, it's kind of tricky because Notre Dame traditionally has their junior day. That second weekend in January, usually. Somewhere around there, second or third weekend. But hopefully they'll still be in the mix of this national title run. So we'll see how that pans out. But the 26th class, Nichols, Noah Grubbs, Sullivan Garvin, Chaston Smith, Thomas Davis Jr., and Dylan Faison. Notre Dame's off to a great start with the 2026 class. Fantastic start. He committed to Notre Dame today. So, Left, anything before we get out of here, man?
That's about it, man. I'm excited for this game.
You guys have anything planned? You got matching pajamas you rocking tonight for Christmas Eve, bro?
Say again.
You rocking matching pajamas with the boys and with Raven?
Yeah, we definitely gonna get to that today. So we gotta take pictures and stuff. So.
Oh man, that is my exemption, bro. That has been my lifetime exemption. I'm not doing the matching PJs. My wife tried to bring me the onesie one time, and I was like, I can't do it. I just can't bring myself to do it. So I'll just find matching color shorts and a nice little T-shirt, and we'll take our picture right there in front of the tree and watch Christmas movies until we all fall asleep. Which is funny because now as the parents, we fall asleep before our daughter does. It used to be the reverse. But
she a night owl.
What'd you say?
She's a night owl now, huh?
Oh, dude. My daughter doesn't go to bed until like 3 a.m. Average. On average. 3 a.m, bro. She's up. She's just up. And she's still asleep right now. She went out with her girls last night, though, downtown. They went downtown and kicked it.
Oh, yeah. She living it. She living it.
Oh, she's absolutely living it, man. All of her girls, they're in. Her girl that graduated, her girl graduated from U of I. So Soror, they went to high school together. All of her high school classmates, they're all back in town from New York. Some go to NYU. Some go to school here. U of I, Howard, all over the place. They convened, kicked it last night. She walked in here like a zombie. But she's going to have to get up as soon as we're done. And that's like in 2 minutes. Because it's time to go make some moves out in these streets. Everyone, please be safe. Have the happiest and merriest Christmas you've ever had. We speak that God's blessings and God's hands will be on everyone's life as we head into this new year. And that whatever has troubled you, we speak that better days are ahead and the best is still yet to come for your life. I truly believe that. And I speak that over everybody. Thank you guys for how you continue to support us, continue to lock in with us. Go over, buy merch at the Lucky Lefty Network shop. You can see it right there on our YouTube page, patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. We have new shows popping up at the beginning of the year. Go subscribe right now. Just $5 a month to get locked in on that. And then we'll see you guys on the other side of Christmas to continue to break down this matchup with Georgia. And we'll have some special guests later on in the week. So for Left, SD2 Mics, have a great Christmas Eve and a Merry Christmas. But most of all, you have to make sure that you continue to spin it different. We'll holler at you guys on the other side.